Hello there, everyone! Today we're doing What If Izuku or if Deku was in GTA 5 X Danmachi Part 2. And if the reason why I sound tired is because I am tired, I stayed up. Why? Because I have messed up my sleeping schedule and I woke up at 5 p.m. in the morning. And I'm gonna fix it by just staying up. So if you guys think that's a weird method, then tell me in the comment section. But anyway, I'll shut up and get to it. the, the hell? Where the hell am I? Matter of fact, when am I? Or, not when, where am I? As Deku looks at the state of his little submarine, or his little scuba diver, vehicle, he notices that most of it's kind of ruptured and some of it's kind of broken. But he manages to at least get whatever he could from the thing. He's like, where the hell am I? Shit. My arm's fucking dislocated. This is gonna be a bitch. As he puts something in his mouth, and that's cloth. As he begins putting pressure on his arm, and he begins to put it back in place in 3, 2, 1. Fuck. That fucking hurts so much. If anyone else could have done this, they wouldn't have the fucking balls. But unlike me, I had the most guttiest of balls. Izuku proceeds to get up and try to see where he is. But the first thing he does is pack up his supplies. Because his submarine does have, like, emergency rations. He also grabbed a few things that were belonging to him, including his heist outfit, because he wanted to bring it in case the police showed up or everything. He always has that on him at all times, you see. And Izuku decides to, I don't know, how should I put it? He decides to go to open the hatch, but when he opens it, he finds himself in the forest. And when he looks up, he sees all the walls are like crystallized and like, where have I seen this before? He's trying to remember, it's very vague. 3 minutes, really? Fuck. Well, gotta make this interesting because I know I'm tired, I want to end it, but I can't. So, Izuku simply tries to think where the hell he's at. But he gets interrupted by voices coming towards him. So he instantly gets out of his submarine, or mini sub, and quickly tries to book it. But before he could, he sees that his little submarine's arms grabbed onto the book, which got him here, or sent him somewhere. He grabbed it and rushed into the forest. As he did, he grabs a pair of binoculars and zooms in and sees people like looking at it. One of which would be someone with blonde hair, who is most beautiful. She was very captivating to him, but he decides to try to ignore it. As he begins trying to listen in, who are these people? As then he hears one voice that he's like Tina and Taya. I can't fucking pronounce the other twin's name. The flat-chested one comes towards her other sister, and they say, "Whoa, what is this? I haven't seen one of these. I haven't seen this before." As Eyes tilts her head in curiosity as well. course, Griffin, I can't remember the good dwarf guy's name, was also curious because he is a dwarf and he looks at the design of it. It looks very, very detailed to the last end and also reinforced. As he goes like, yeah. Look, as he first thing he fucking knows is but then he begins to notice that there's two people coming to back behind them between the guy, the little child. He sees pointy ears. He's like, wait a minute. No fucking way. As he zooms closer, like, are those fucking. Is that an elf? As she goes to a girl that has orange hair, like, is that a half elf? Wait a minute. Am I in a fucking fantasy get in a fantasy world? Ah, god damn it. Besides, I'm kinda not really into those, just real life's much more better than that shit, but god damn, never thought I'd actually see an elf. Interesting. And then some fucking guy walks behind them just saying, what you find, you two? The guy's being a fucking dick, he's like, oh, so there's fucking furries here. Or beastmen. Fuck. As he's like, no, I'm out. As he begins, because he begins trying to find somewhere to set up. He manages to find a little area that's a bit open, at the very least. As he begins setting up camp and sets up his tent, he makes sure to patrol the area and he puts landmines down, okay? Are there landmines in GTA? I don't think so, but I'm gonna say he has some couple on him. But there are landmines in cars though, so he places them accordingly 2 meters far off from each other, and he makes a note of where they are. As he double checks to make sure that no one followed him. As he sits down on a log and just sighs. Okay, well, if I have to, I'll gotta figure out where the fuck I'm at, so I gotta read this fucking book. As he opens the book and begins reading it. The book has many, many factors into it about how this book is able to travel this person to the other world, but also can also allow this person to travel back. However, it takes about 3 days for the book to. It takes about. He read it very thoroughly. It said he will return in 3 days. The reason why 3 days is because. Just 3 days. But if I just say he had to go away for 3 months, would that make sense? I'm gonna say 3 days for now. In both GTA and Danmachi. And plus, yeah. So he first then starts to close the book and just sighs 3 days, huh? Well, if I'm gonna be here, I might as well gather all the information I get. Who knows, could be handy. And besides, I don't think I'll sell this book yet. Besides, if Lester ever knew about this, he would probably be fucking, I don't know, drug operations or some shit. Well, as he gets up from the log, time to go to sleep. He goes inside of his tent and rolls up in his sleeping bag as he closes his eyes and goes to sleep. He begins dreaming about him at a young age. How everything was fine when his dad was there, even though his face is blurred out completely. And the good dream turned into a nightmare. His mother beating him, remember the slashes, remembering the cuts of glass that his mother kept smashing into his head. And he woke up. It was middle of the day, or it was day now. God damn it. Even with that therapist, and even with the medication, I still can't get that bitch out of my head. I have to find that fucking bitch and kill her. That'll probably be the only way to get rid of this stupid dream. As he first begins to tries to wash himself off, which he wonders if there's a pond nearby. He listens very closely and he hears a pond. The first thing he does is take off his clothes at least. But he has swimming trunks, so he's good. As he gets into the water, begins cleaning himself with some shampoo and shit. As he's just about to be done, he hears people coming by. So he quickly washes his hair really quickly and runs away, but forgetting his shampoo. And no. We're not at the part where Belle's there yet with Hermes, the fucking pervert among gods. Fucking bitch. They're just on another expedition. As other girls arrive, getting naked as well and going to the pond, one thing that Leafia notices, or Tina notices at least, is that she sees something plastic. Like something smells nice. She begins going towards the smell and she finds this weird bottle as she grabs it and begins squeezing it. And something comes out. She smells it and she just says, "It smells nice." I don't know if they... Do they have shampoo? I don't think so. So, she was curious and licks it and just tastes like, yeah, it tastes gross. As she wonders, like, if it's not for tasting, then is it for your hair? As she wanted, as Tina and Tuna tried this. First, the one flat-chested one put it in her hair first, and then when she dunked her head into the water, her sister smelled her, and she smelled much nicer than usual. So her sister followed her lead, and her hair was quite much more cleaner than it was. And yeah. As all the girls wondering what the two are doing, both the two Amazons show them what they're doing. As Eyes and Leafia and Rivia were pretty curious, as they begin putting that shampoo into their hair as well. And it was much more cleaner, and their hair was so much cleaner than before. They even smelled much nicer. As they wanted to ask who would leave this, as then they were wondering if was someone there before them, because they must have left in a rush. As Izuku just says, fuck, I forgot my shampoo. But it's a good thing I have a backup back there, as he's on a fucking tree. So, all the girls return back, and when they return back, one thing that Bet notices is that Ice smells much nicer, and the other fucking five smell much more nicer. And Finn notices both Finn and Gilger can't fucking remember the dwarf's name. What the fuck? Remember like how Leafia and Rivia smell, and I smells much nicer. And then Finn asks the question about why do they smell much more nicer, and how does their hair look more like better. Rivia begins to explain how they found this weird kind of stuff by the liver. As Finn begins expecting it and looks at it very closely, like, well, someone kind of not left this here, Rivia, so they probably left it. As Rivia's like, yeah, so could you, what if bet? Sorry guys, I'm not making sense, my brain is not fucking working right. So if you guys think that I should redo this part 2 for this, I will do it like 100% when I'm fully fucking, just my brain cells are restored. If you guys not, then okay. As Finn says, well, it's kind of rude taking something that isn't ours. So if you find the person who left this, I would appreciate if you give it back, Rivia. As Rivia nods her head and leaves the tent. As Rivia begins going to Eyes and asking her how she feels, Eyes says she feels much better than usual. It's like that she's much more, I don't know, cleaner than usual. As Rivia's like, I couldn't agree more. Rivia sits down next to Eyes and begins asking her, so, you really want us to pass, you can't wait to get to level 6, can't you, Eyes? Eyes nods her head like, I want to reach that level. I want to get stronger. As Rivia can understand her passion, but her passion might one day get her killed. But who is Rivia to stop her? If she wants to get stronger, she will. And of course, if you guys don't want me going into their personal lives as the what if, then I understand. But if you guys really like me doing this sort of thing, then I will do it for the rest of this for the rest of my what ifs. As Leafia leans in behind a tree listening to their conversation, Leafia could just feel like how she was in the anime. She just feels useless to Eyes. Sorry about that, I'm just fucking bored. As Leafia begins trying to think about how Eyes is pushing herself to get stronger and stronger, and she's thinking about maybe all of them will leave her. But Eyes says this, I do want to get stronger, but I want to make sure I want to make sure all my friends catch up to me. As Leafia's heart began to get filled with some sort of hope that one day that she'll be with Eyes on her level. Anyway, as they're doing all that at their fucking camp, Izuku just got back to his camp in the middle of the forest. As he gets there, making sure he does not set off the fucking landmines, he begins eating some of his rations. He begins eating a dried out steak and a turkey. I must say, it did taste not quite shit in his head, but let's see. I got 50 cal sniper rifle. Got let's just see. What else do I have in here? I should probably mention Izuku was born not like Izuku has a power, not a quirk. I did say that there are no quirks in GTA, so yeah. He has an abnormal power. He can store stuff. That's about it. Okay, you know how Sludge, how like your like GTA characters have to like store like a bunch of fucking weapons and shit? Yeah, that's his ability. He can even store fucking jerry cans and fucking Pepsi and shit. All the cops were like wondering, where the fuck does he get that shit? Anyway, let's get to this. As he looks in his arsenal, he has one Desert Eagle, 150 cal sniper rifle, one missile launcher, rocket launcher, one 44 grenade launcher. Like, is there that in GTA? Guys, can you tell me in the comment section, please? Thank you. Anyway, he has the railgun rifle 2.0 and the original. And yeah, that's all about he has for now. Because fuck, I'm sorry guys. I'm just like really, really goddamn tired. I'm sorry for like not making this thing much interesting. If you guys like think I should like do this later, just say that this is like 1.5, then I will do it. I think I might make it just a 1.5 for now, then part 2 when part 2 was released. Yeah, I'm so sorry guys. I'm about to fall asleep soon, so anyway, I'll shut up and get to the story. As he has like a lot of shit in his arsenal. All the weapons in GTA, even the fucking tomahawk. As he first picks it up, or grabs it in his inventory, he begins cutting off a tree to get more firewood. But he's not doing this in his like camp because the landmines are scattered all around his camp. And if he did the wrong move, then something bad, one of the branches might activate one of the landmines. So he's cutting off wood far away. And this is where Leafia and Rivia's conversation comes in. As both Rivia and Ice begin talking, and Leafia listening by, first Leafia hears something behind her. She looks to see what's behind her. She's like a guy cutting some firewood. She's quite curious about what the hell is he doing out here. Judging by his age, he looks like the same age as Eyes. So, yeah. He then starts to grab the wood and like tie it together. He begins carrying it, which, judging by Leafia's curiosity, she wants to follow him and see what the hell is he doing out here, and especially why is he so near, like so close, so close to their camp. So she begins following him, and she first thing she notices that at a certain point of the forest, or at some point, he stops and looks at the ground carefully and moves in a way that kind of like makes her question why does he do that. Then she has an idea. She thinks that there's something in the grass that he walked over. Or more precisely, the landmines he remembered he placed down. So he walked a pattern so that he wouldn't set him off. And as he just got back to camp as well, as he begins disembarking the firewood and everything. First thing he does is put the wood in the fire and kindle it. As Leafia follows the pattern like he did. Or like he did. Now she is on a treetop, watching him like, what the heck is this human doing, she says. I followed his patterns. And he's like, And he has green hair. And that clothing. That's certainly not clothing for combat. As she looks down to see what he's bringing out, she sees a book. But more than that, the book looks like it's a grimoire. As she's wondering what the hell is he doing with that grimoire, as she begins flipping the pages, as she's like, is he an idiot? Doesn't he know that the power would? As she notices the pages aren't fading, they're just staying there. As he begins reading it and saying out loud with not knowing that she's there. So, on the day of the eclipse, that's when the day you should be able to return to your realm. Man, I only have about, about 14 hours left before I get to leave. Besides, my submarine, because whoever those people are found my submarine, or my vehicle, kind of didn't expect it to be there, but I had to tail it. Otherwise, I'd probably be fucked. Or better yet, questioned. Besides, no one knows where I am, so it doesn't matter. What time is it? Oh, it's about 5 a.m. Might as well take a good beauty sleep. As he picks the book up and puts it in his tent, and goes to sleep and puts out the fire. And Leafia, literally went back to camp and told the others, or just told Eyes and Rivia, and the two Amazon twins. And of course, Finn also got no. They also told Finn about this, and Finn said, "Well, if he's the guy from the sub, then he has to have some questions about how or what it is, at least." But I'm gonna be continuing this off to since this is part 2 or 1.5, you guys' choice. But yeah, I'm officially stopping the video here. If you did enjoy this, thank you so much. I'll talk to you on my next video, and goodbye.